so that I know. Because I can hear me fine. How about that? All right, guys, let's find ourselves on our mat. I should have told you before we get started. For Sunday stretch, we like all the props. So you're in your house, you probably have a couch pillow of some kind, you know, some kind of pillow to help you. I've got my block. I've also got a strap. If you don't have a strap, a scarf works well. Anything? Okay, great. Do that. And then I like to use this sometimes as well. It's a little more forgiving than a pillow. This is a traditional yoga blanket, but it's honestly about the same size as a big beach towel. So a nice big beach towel can work just as well. So we'll use the stuff that we have. So let's begin by elevating your hips with the biggest, fluffiest thing that you have. So take the pillow that you have from maybe a sofa or something like that. Put your hips there and notice right away how elevating your hips just helps you relax that spine and the tailbone down. Very nice. And if it's hurting your knees at all to have this crisscross legs, then find a more comfortable way to sit. Legs could be out in front. Close your eyes. Slow down your breath. Congratulations on making it to your mat. Give yourself just this brief moment in time to let everything else go. Like you were going to put it in a locker for safekeeping. Lock the key, take the key, put it in your pocket. All of those things will still be there. Your body, your breath, your mind, your intention. This is what can be constant for you. Regardless of what's happening in the world, what's happening situationally with the people that are around you, what's happening globally, what's happening right in your environment. These things will change, but you are your constant. Start to bring your focus really inward. And I invite you tonight to lengthen your breath. See if you can exhale, really feeling compassion for yourself. Forgiveness for the things that you have been through. Recognition that you just keep showing up. Validation to yourself with this inhale. And your exhale. Validation that you are enough right now. Let's take a few breaths together. Nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hold that breath. Exhale, nice and gentle through your nose. Exhale out. Do it again. Breathe in. Exhale out. And if you need to open your mouth because you have so much inside that you need to let go of, do that. But if you need this to be powerful and regenerative for you, then keep your mouth closed. Breathe in. Let your lips be soft as you exhale through your nose if you need that energy to stay inside. One more together. Nice slow inhale. Let your shoulders drop down toward the center of your back as you exhale. Gently bring your hands together at heart center. Let your eyes relax. Let that space along the lower jaw relax. Let your thumbs make contact with your sternum. Your elbows are soft. But sit well, drawing the crown of your head up just a little bit. And I invite you to just take a moment and offer gratitude for your experience this week. No matter how difficult, this is part of your journey. I am positive that you helped someone this week. And for that, you can be grateful. So this is your moment. Take your moment, offer thanks for whatever is most relevant for you. And then gently release your hands. We're going to make our way to our belly, but take a moment here just to open your eyes. And while you're seated, just move around a little bit, taking a seated cat-cow, maybe articulating around your ribs to the waist. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, and then gently bring them down and back, like I was asking you to try to squeeze a pencil between your shoulder blade. And then do that again a couple times. Up towards your ears, down and back, making this space between your collarbones really wide. Noticing where you are, just noticing this gift of being connected to your body during this time. Even if you don't get stretchy, you don't get flexible, you don't feel better, but this gift of being connected is worth it. Find some stillness and undo your legs. With your hips elevated, just take a moment and walk your fingers down towards your feet. Let your head hang really nice and soft. Straighten your legs as much as you can. It does not matter at all whether or not your hands meet your feet, but find a place where you have an anchor with those hands. Let your chin soften to your chest. Let your exhale make space, finding a little bit of deepness in your stretch each time you exhale. Take another deep breath in. And move slowly, like 3 times more slowly than you normally would. Pressing your hands along the fronts of your legs. Walk yourself back up. Good. Clasp your hands behind your back. And we've got some room to move the hands down since you're sitting on a pillow or a cushion or a block. So just lean back and reach your hands down, getting a good stretch through the front of your body. Squeezing your shoulder blades together, relaxing your chin towards your chest. And release your hands, come off of your cushion. You can keep it nearby. You might want your blanket or towel. You might not. And we're going to find our way down to our belly on the mat. So all the way down. Oh. Some of you might be like, okay, good, I'll just stay here. Relax the tops of your feet down onto the mat. Make a little space, hand over hand, so you can support your forehead. Elbows out wide. Take a moment and just let your body melt into the mat here. Unburden yourself here. Let the things slide off your shoulders that you've been carrying around. Let them be laid out in a way that you have perspective so that you can choose which of those burdens are yours to bear and which of them may actually be blessings or gifts. that just require a change in perspective. Making our way to Sphinx pose. Rotate your hands so that they face forward and bring your elbows in right underneath your shoulders. Press all 10 fingers down onto the mat. And check in that if you can see yourself, you've got a stack of elbow right under shoulder, trying to make a 90-degree angle there rather than being far forward or crunched up back here. Get that 90 degrees. Really nice. And this is a beautiful stretch for your shoulders and low back by pressing all 10 fingers into the mat and energetically pressing as much of your forearm down while you lift through your chest. It's a subtle movement. But see if you can press gently through your inhale and then hold that integration while you exhale. Allowing your belly and the places to soften that don't need to be tense. Your feet are soft, your knees and glutes can be soft. If you find that you're clenching here, relax. And if it's too much to keep your chin up, let your gaze just come down. Maybe your eyes are closed, let your neck be soft. Make space between the tops of your shoulders and your ears. And turn your head to the left. And then turn your head to the right. Take one more breath here in your cobra. And then gently and slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Take your right hand out like a T. And push gently through your left hand so you roll over onto your right hip and right shoulder. Let your right palm be flat on the floor. And see if you can create some stretch and opening through that right shoulder joint by pressing gently with your left hand. Your top leg, your left foot, may just want to rest behind your right heel on the floor. Or you may want to gently bend your left knee and reach with your left hand. We're not being aggressive at all, so if it's not there, don't force it. But if it is, reach with your left hand for your left ankle. And this allows your left shoulder to also squeeze towards the center of your spine and its length through the front of your left leg in your quad. And just like when we meet a conflict, we want to run the opposite direction. This actually has a physiologic, fundamental base. When our body meets conflict, when our body meets resistance, it's natural to then shrink up, run away to protect ourselves. But we're going to stay here long enough to work through the resistance. Allow yourself to find some softening. And you can do that with your breath. So if your breath is all fast and shallow and up in your throat, close your mouth gently, relax your jaw. Let that breath come in and out through your nose as audible as you can by opening the back of your throat on your exhale, kind of like you were going to say ah, but you don't. Learning to let that sound of your breath create muscle memory of grounding and calmness. Taking this practice off the mat into our lives. Give yourself some space here. Breathe in and breathe out. And then feel where you're stuck as you undo. So releasing your leg, gently rolling back to center. Bringing your right hand in and resetting in your cobra pose again. Bringing your elbows to the mat. Pulling your shoulders down. really nice, guys. Take a big breath in, lift through the crown of your head, and exhale, lower. Let's do the left side. Take your left hand out. Start with your chin on the mat and feel all 5 fingers spread out and press from the tips of your fingers into the floor. So my left arm is a little bit reaching. Then push through your right hand and gently roll over all the way onto the left side. And I really appreciate how each of you is going slow. It's taken me a long time in yoga to appreciate going slow because I like getting a lot of stuff done. But when you go slow, you can listen. So if your mind is filled up still with many, many things, just bring your heart back to gratitude. What are you thankful for right now? At least you are thankful for this body that is carrying you through your life, giving you the energy to move through your gifts. The vehicle you've been offered. If you want to explore this further, bend your right knee. Keep this stretch through the left shoulder, those left fingertips really pressing down, and gently reach for your right ankle. And again, your hips are different. Your 2 legs look the same. Your 2 arms look the same, but they're not exactly the same. So notice if there's a difference in one side or the other, and just where's the tenderness? Squeeze your shoulder blades together, being mindful that you have space between your earlobes and your shoulders. And allowing yourself to rock back towards that left edge of your mat as much as you can. Breathe here. Soften your jaw. Find that pranayama breath that you can breathe in and you can breathe out, keeping your mouth closed, hearing your inhale and exhale. Staying here past the point of when it feels like we should let go. Teaching our bodies to be steady. Teaching our mind to be steady with our body. One more breath. Release so gently. Take the foot out of your hand first if it's there. Feel the change in your shoulder and your arm joint as you roll back to center. And take your hands forward. Take your forehead to the mat. Like you were flowing through the water, just put your hands reaching out in front of you, toes reaching back. Sometimes we do this stretch and we're laying on our back, like fingers to toes, like you're stretching really long, but do it this time instead on your belly, reaching your fingers forward and taking your toes back as long as you can. Good. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Gently bring up your chest. Take your hands off the edges of the mat and just push up so you have a wide seal pose. If it feels better to have those elbows bent, create some support with your elbows. If you can, straighten your arms, draw your shoulders back. A lot of opening through your chest and back, so listen to your body. Just because I tell you to go somewhere, it's your job to listen to your body, feel what's the right distance for you. One more breath here. Good. Lower all the way down. Push up through your hands and knees. Keep your hands out in front of you a little bit as you press your hips all the way back, fingers reaching long. Drop your forehead to the mat. Finding your child's pose here. And then in order to open up the whole front of our body, let's flow forward. all the way, shifting forward so your hips drop down, and now you're in a modified up dog position, feet nice and wide. And then hands don't move, elbows stay straight, just your lower body, knees bend, push your hips back. See if you can connect your breath. Maybe your eyes are closed. Inhale, low forward. Feel your chest drop. Lifting through your chin, dropping your collarbones out wide, and then exhale, push your hips back towards your heels. So try to make this one steady flow movement. So do this at your own pace for about 10 seconds. Sometimes it's right for you to kind of on your way, wiggle, wiggle, and sometimes it's right to just stay in one part. Maybe in this modified up dog, maybe in the hands and knees, maybe in the child's pose, but you're trying to flow back and forth. Use your breath, taking a big breath in and out through every transition. And don't worry about whether you're doing it right or wrong, just breathe, move. Tune in and listen to what you feel in your hips and your back and your shoulders. Good, let's come to our hands and knees. Tuck your toes, take a gentle downward facing dog. Letting your head hang. Letting this be about opening. So sometimes a down dog can feel like work. This is not work. This is your bones and your arms holding up your shoulders. Your back is nice and strong already. It can hold you up. It holds you up all day. We're going to take our right foot to our right hand and set ourselves up for a pigeon on this side. You can lift your right leg if that feels right for you and sweep your right knee to your right hand. Or you can just drop your back knee and pull that right knee forward. And one way or another, just scoot your right foot and shin as far forward as you can. And let's be not too eager to settle down. So lift your chest here, tent your fingers off to the edges of your mat. Take your shoulder blades wide. So if I could just see if you had any scrunching up between your shoulders and your ears, push up and long. Like you were trying to lift your tailbone up away from that mat. Good, use your breath, take a big breath in, and then on your exhale, lead with this center space of your chest and fold forward. And this is where if you have your towel or your pillow nearby, let's use it. Make yourself a little landing pad for your head. Maybe you cradle it in your arms and support your head. Maybe you want to rest your arms on that and support your head. Keep the right hip lifted so there is some space. There's some gravity doing some dropping in on between your right glute and the mat. And then get here and breathe. Sometimes in this slow practice, I like to think about the metta prayer, which is a meditation that allows you to be thankful for you and thankful for others. And it is a meditation of compassion and intention. And it's very simple. And you can just listen and let the words land as you relax here in your pigeon. Taking yourself out of this space if you feel discomfort and just leaning into your breath. Or you can say the words in your mind after I say them. We start with an intention for ourselves. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I feel free. May I live in peace. Gently put your hands on the mat, lift your chest. Maybe you can tent your fingers again or let your hands be flat, but find this lift. And then take your right knee back, tuck your toes, reset in your downward facing dog. Let your bones support your joints by having straight arms. Let your face and your head be soft, like you are slack. Maybe you want to pedal one knee and the other. Maybe you're ready right now to take your left knee to your left wrist. And you can drop a right knee to get there or lift your left leg up high. Maybe it feels right to take a big stretch there, or just go ahead and find grounding. We'll all meet here, pigeon on the left. Thank your body for getting you to this point today. Tent your fingers. Take a moment here. Feel how your back is feeling. Feel how your shoulders and chest are feeling, and recognize that all the parts of us are connected. We can't just be taking care of our legs and not also be taking care of our hips, back, ribs, shoulders, neck, jaw. It's all connected in a miraculous way. Take a big breath in, tent your fingers, lift your chin a little bit. Feel that space between your left hip, left glute, and the mat. And then lead with your sternum, that space right in the center of your chest. So not the chin, not your nose, just lead with your sternum as you allow yourself to settle down. Use your pillow or your cushion again. The second part of the metta prayer is your intention of compassion for someone that you care deeply for. In whatever way that you do, just someone that you care deeply for, you say this prayer for them. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of suffering. May you live in peace. Listen closely for your breath. Let every exhale be clearing. Many things are changing, many things are scary. Many things around us are very threatening right now. You, your mind, this space that you live in, this is your constant. And just like we have to take our car through the car wash and we have to vacuum the rug, you have to take care of this space. On your exhale, lift your chest. Find some grounding with your hands. Be mindful if your shoulders want to crunch up and your chest collapses, and be proud and long with the collarbone. Good. Breathe in and then breathe out and move. Take your left knee back. Reset in your downward facing dog. Come up to your tippy toes. Walk your feet in a little bit and then bend your knees, sit down. We're gonna make our way onto our back. We're gonna do what's called banana, and I like to try it with the strap. So if you have your strap or scarf, you're gonna hold it above your head, like about this much. Since we mentioned we were having some shoulder tightness, let's try it this way. So just knowing that space before you lay down, make your hands like a Y, not so wide that you could do a full circle, that would be too wide, and not so tight that they're just hugging your ears, but like a Y shape, where if you reach back with this strap, let's do that for a moment, knees are soft, you feel that opening through your back and your armpits and the shoulder joint, neck is relaxed. Perfect. And then keep that grip, but lay down on your back. And scoot everything over so that you're hugging the right edge of your mat. Take the strap up above your head and see how that feels. Do you need to widen the grip? Take it in just a bit. But I'd like you to be able to have some tension. You're not going to feel this as deeply as you did before, but with your arms holding that strap taut, pick up your shoulders and keep your hips where they are, but just move your head and shoulders over towards the right. And now we've got that Y shape with the strap and a deep bend at the waist on the left and a lot of lengthening through the right leg, right hip. And I'm making a banana shape towards the left side of the mat. Now my legs follow, but your right hip bone does not roll up. So take your left leg towards the left corner of your mat. And then let your right leg scoot across to the degree that it will. Some of you might be able to cross your right ankle actually on top of your left leg. A little bend in the knee is fine. And you're really energetically trying to put that right hip down. So lots of opening happening through your armpits, through your side waist, through your backs of your legs, through both hips. And you're kind of shaped like a banana. So find yourself here and take a couple breaths. Let your intention right now be about lengthening through your right leg and your right hip, drawing down and reaching through your left hand. Keeping your head, the back of your head on the mat. Like I'm gonna stretch you so much, you're gonna grow an inch right here. And imagine if I was there with you, that I came and I gently put a little pressure on your right hip to press you down, but your left foot stayed right where it was. And if you're forgetting to breathe, now is a good time. So take a breath and exhale. And recognize that in order to be supported, to feel good, you don't always have to be perfectly comfy. That being a little bit uncomfortable can actually leave you a little bit more shiny, a little bit more ready. So here, as we're coaxing our body to unwind, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. Your breath is your tool. Deep inhale, open mouth, exhale. Soften your arms. Take a break from those hands above your head. Bend your knees. Move from the right edge of your mat to center. You're still holding the same grip with the strap, but just let it be relaxed over your waist. And softly windshield wiper your knees side to side. So no pressure through your arms right now at all. Just a nice toss of the knees side to side, opening your hips. Go slow enough or deep enough that you have feeling. Don't go so far you have pain. And then together, let's move all the way over to the left edge of the mat. Hips are glued, left hip glued to the left edge of the mat. If that was okay for your arms, you can keep the strap. If you don't like the strap and you want to try it a different way, you can reach your arms above your head, grab opposite elbow. It's a little less intensity. So if your biceps or triceps are getting tired, maybe this feels better, just grabbing opposite elbow. If you need that opening through your arms, then maybe keep the strap. Regardless, you're going to move your head and shoulders over to the right corner of your mat, creating that arch while really trying to keep your left back hip bone glued down. So find that big opening, scooching and reaching your head to the left. And then our legs will follow. Take your right heel towards the right corner. And then keeping your hips glued down, you may notice a difference of how far this left leg will go. Kind of an indicator of the mobility and difference in each side. Never judge this part. Just treat your body with tenderness, like you notice something that you need to be mindful and tender about. Finding our banana shape, reaching towards the right of the mat, making yourself like that crescent moon. Really dropping your right hip down. If you want to try crossing your left ankle on top of your right, you may want to play with that. You'll notice that increases the intensity of the stretch in your right hip. Again, finding the place where we have feeling and opening, but not pain to the point of distraction. And using this opportunity to breathe. We breathe all day long and don't think about it, right? Our breath changes with our emotions. So part of the gift of yoga is helping to reduce stress, and part of the way that that happens is when you start to be intentional about your breath. You change your neurologic response to emotions because you have the ability to start to hone in and slow down those autonomic responses. So take deep, slow breaths right here. Knowing you already are enough. You are not alone. One more breath here. Release your hands. If you're holding the strap, you can set it to the side. Bring yourself back up to center. Take a big stretch now in the middle of your mat, fingers to toes. Reaching your arms above your head, pointing and flexing your feet. And then bring your knees into your chest and lift your shoulders up off the mat and wrap your arms around the front of your legs and give yourself a big squeeze. And then slowly lower your back down to the mat, rock a little bit side to side. Cross that sacroiliac joint, your SI joint. That's the part that's right in between those two bones you can feel from side to side as you rock back and forth. Take a moment in bound angle with the soles of your feet together, feet out, knees out wide. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. The last part of the metta prayer is offering this intention of compassion to all living things. And that includes the spirit of living things. who still live on in our mind, in our memory, in our hearts. And that also includes people who we do not consider our allies, people who we find cause us distress. That we recognize that we can offer loving compassion to all living things. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be free of suffering. May we all live in peace. Relax your hands by your sides. Extend your legs out long. Let everything just soften. Let your shoulders soften. Let the back of your lower mid back just soften. Let your breath and your jaw soften. Take time. Just a moment for you. Breathe in and breathe out. If you need space in your mind right now, take deep breaths in and big exhales. Give yourself that space, leaving behind with your breath what you no longer need to carry. If we can live a little bit more in the moment this week, perhaps we can be a little bit lighter together. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Gently bend your knees. Drop your toes to the mat and then your heels. Maybe it feels good to windshield wiper your knees a little bit side to side. And eventually we'll move over towards the edge of our mat and up to a seated position. Keep your eyes closed. Just let that space happen naturally. You make your way to the top of your mat. Bring your hands together at heart center. Take a deep breath in and a big open mouth sigh. To each of you, I honor the light in you. You've got this. Namaste.